the European Union is doing nothing to waive the patent. So to get the patent in the public domain so that the recipes of the vaccines are becoming public, and so that all companies that have the capacity can produce the vaccines, and they can produce in as much quantity as we need here in the European Union, but also outside of the European Union.
A lei la parola.
Je ne vais pas y aller par quatre chemins, Madame von der Leyen. J'ai une question essentielle pour vous aujourd'hui. Comment la Commission européenne a-t-elle pu accepter de se coucher ainsi face aux laboratoires pharmaceutiques?
The main problem lies there is that the European Commission has been so weak in front of the pharma companies. And from the very beginning, the pharma companies, or what that we can call the Big Pharma, have been the ones who've been making the rules. They've been the ones imposing that the contracts are not fully public. They are not respecting now their calendar of delivery, and they don't have any sanction for it. So it looks like all of the time, it's really the large companies that have been stronger than the European Commission and the 27 member states. Our life is into brackets for more than a year now. And we know that to get rid of the COVID, we need the vaccines. And to get enough vaccines for everyone, we need to get back control over the Big Pharma. I was just like speaking with my hurt, but probably with the hurt of millions of Europeans. We're thinking so and not understanding why the hell the Commission is not able to impose any conditions on the Big Pharma. The decision on publishing part of the contract is actually a decision of the Big Pharma. So it's another example on how weak we are. So there was a point where the European Commission, the president of the European Commission, you know, she got back to us as a member of the European Parliament, and she kind of asked us to beg, literally beg, the Big Pharma to publish that contract. And I'm like, sorry, wait. Can't we decide that we make the public contract and we make the rule and they respect it? No, we have to beg them. So it's up to the Big Pharma to decide whether they make it public and what they're making public. As a result of this, only 4 contracts for now are public, and they're only partially public. So not only we don't have all of the contract, but on top of this, we don't have the most important information of the contract. We don't have the price of the vaccine. So we don't know exactly how much profits they're making. We don't know, for example, all of the responsibility clauses in case there is an issue with the vaccine. So in short, we don't know the most important information. And the biggest problem there is that we're forgetting that we're paying all of this with public money. One of the problems nowadays is that companies are getting stronger than states. Second issue, I think, is that the European Union, because of free trade agreements, because of sort of a religion of the market, has lost is what I would call health sovereignty over the last decades. How come we don't have many pharma companies in the European Union that have been producing vaccines? So at the end of the day, we're also relying on companies outside of the European Union, and we're becoming weaker this way. It's still too late and too weak. Too late because clearly with months of delay in our strategy, and it's too weak because still the European Commission is not showing the teeth, and it needs to show the teeth. You know, last week we had the CEO of the Big Pharma coming for a hearing at the European Parliament, and you had the CEO of AstraZeneca saying that there will be further delays in the delivery of the vaccines. And what is the European Union doing? Well, not much. A ban on export, yes, maybe, but most of the vaccines are not produced on the European, in the European borders. And most of all, the European Union is doing nothing to waive the patent. So to get the patent in the public domain so that the recipes of the vaccines are becoming public, and so that all companies that have the capacity can produce the vaccines, and they can produce in as much quantity as we need here in the European Union, but also outside of the European Union. And on this, well, the European Union remains silent, although there's a request at the WTO, the World Trade Organization, from more than 100 states. The question is not whether it's feasible or not. The question is whether it's necessary or not. So that's the first question. And clearly, this is the only way out of this crisis. And yes, this is possible, just if the states play their role. You make the patent public, they're produced in larger quantity by all companies that have the capacity. There's no profit on the pandemic, and then we can see the end of the tunnel. And yes, it's been done in the past. It's been done on the polio vaccine, for example, for HIV. So it's been done in the past. And once for all, I think we need to put health before profits, because here we're talking about lives of millions of people. We need those vaccines to be disseminated everywhere in the world. At the moment, there's only one part of the world that has access to vaccination. And I would say it's an issue of solidarity, obviously, but it's an issue also of efficiency, because if not everyone is getting vaccinated at the same time, well, then the pandemic will get back to us just as a boomerang. Now, how do we do this? Well, of course, we can send a part of our doses that we have here in the European Union. But again, this will not be enough. The only way to answer the needs that exist nowadays at the international level is clearly to have vaccines produced in as much quantity as needed. And for that, we need all companies to be able to work on it, and we need the patent to be public.